rather than ghosting someone, how do you do it better?
Right.
Right?
And being direct is really hard.
It is hard.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you have to, like what you said earlier might be a little bit intense, right? So is there a way using campfire rules that you could maybe not ghost them, but sort of say it in a nicer way?
If you go camping, you leave your campsite better than you found it. So we use this term for anyone, that's, for example, if you don't want to be with somebody anymore, you want to still leave them better than you found them. You don't want to hurt them. You don't want to destroy them and just leave a huge mess for them to clean up, right? And I mean, for me, respect and honesty is the biggest thing for me. And if somebody's honest with me, I feel really respected. That's, like you said, it could be a little intense for somebody else because that's not maybe how they feel the most respected. So you can sugarcoat things. You can tell people all the good things about them and tell them, everything has been so great between us. I don't want to ghost you, but I also don't think that, continuing this relationship is going to work for me. And I'm so sorry. That could be a nice, a bit of a less intense way of saying it. But just keeping in mind, don't leave a big fucking mess for them to clean up. Don't be mean.
Inevitably, every human being that gets ghosted, no matter how secure you are, is going to have thoughts of self-doubt, right?
Totally.
Because when you ghost someone, right away the other person is like, was it me? What did I do? Could I have done something differently? Should I have done this? Should I have done that? Right? Yeah. So you're doing someone, by being direct, it might seem crazy at first, but you're doing them a huge service because then at least they know it wasn't them. You know what I mean? And they don't have to go through all that shit in their mind, which is really the damaging part about ghosting, I think.
Because that wondering, I think, is it makes somebody feel less confident. So you're literally perpetuating a sexless world out there,
it's
right?
horrible.
The more confident you are, the sexier you are. So if you're stripping someone of their confidence, you're stripping them of the desire to feel sexy. You're stripping them of the feeling of sexiness. And so they're not going to go out and feel good. They're going to go out and feel shitty. And then they're not going to have good sex. You can perpetuate something that you can't even see. And you can end that by so easily just saying, listen, I'm not into you. I can't do this. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, just communicate. And you don't even have to call them. People are text
Oh,
message
yeah.
is fine.
Yeah.
DM them on Instagram. It doesn't have to be crazy. It's not rude anymore. It's 2018. We communicate via text message now. It's totally cool.
Oh,
no
yeah.
one talks on the phone.
You don't have to say this on the phone or in person.
It's totally fine.
In fact, this is another thing that I'll bring up is that once you've had this conversation, that's it. That's the end of. You don't need to have another one. You don't need to be like, oh, well, now they want to go for coffee. It's like, no. If you make that decision, then you have to stick with it.
Exactly.
And because you don't want to give somebody a mixed signal. They're not really hearing it, or they might still have hope, and or maybe you still have hope, and you're secretly, I don't know, you're saying this out of some kind of desire for them to step it up in some way or whatever, but then meeting up with them afterwards is a big mistake.
No, you got to stop it right there. You got to cut them off.
If it's coffee that you're saying this at, that's the last coffee you ever have. There's no more talking. You have to really, because that's again the thing, you could really mess somebody up by going back and forth with them, and that's not fair.